Following the assassination of Charlie Kirk in the United States recently, there's been a lot of discussion about freedom of speech. How far should it go? How far does it go? How do we get to a point, or how does the United States get to a point, where a person is murdered for legally expressing views that he sincerely holds, and views which, by the way, possibly a majority of American citizens would agree with? How do we get to this situation? Barbara Bonte, member of the European Parliament from Belgium. I know that you've spoken about the murder of Charlie Kirk, and you've voiced your own concerns about what this means for freedom of speech, not just in the United States, but globally. Tell me, please, how bad can this get? How far do you see this going? Because I personally cannot see any stop to this left-wing pressure, propaganda, which has now led us to violence and murder. Where are we going? Where is Europe going? Where is the free world going?
So I was really shocked to hear that Charlie Kirk had been murdered. I went to a Trump rally 1 year ago, and then it was the first time that I saw Charlie Kirk speaking, and I thought, yeah, this is a future president. He can speak so eloquently, he can speak so good. It was a very motivating speech. And then I followed him on social media, and in fact what he did was going to campuses, to university campuses, and he wanted debate. So he also wanted to speak with people with other visions, and then to debate about it. So he was an advocate for free speech, and then it was very shocking to hear that he has been murdered, because he was a person who was for free debate, for open debate, and just that person had been murdered because of what he was doing. I was shocked, but it's not the first time that it's happening. We had also the murder, it's already more than 20 years ago, in the Netherlands, of Pim Fortuyn, who has also been murdered because he was expressing his views, and there was also a left-wing extremist who couldn't stand this, and he simply shot him. And that's also what happened with Charlie Kirk. It was also a left-wing Antifa person who shot him. And sometimes I feel very concerned about what's happening, because I'm a right-wing politician myself. I also have my views, my colleagues too. And when you see that you can simply be shot because of an opinion that you share, and which is shared by the majority of the people, it's very concerning, because I am also a mother of 2 children, and sometimes you're wondering, when something would happen with me, it's very bad. And sometimes I think that the left-wing people are seeing you as an object, so not as a human being anymore, but because they don't agree with what you're saying, they don't agree with you as a person, and so they really hate you as a person, and that's very concerning. And I think the Antifa movement is doing this very frequently, and that's the reason why we filed a resolution. My colleague Tom van den Driessen filed a resolution in the European Parliament to put Antifa on the terror list. And we also did it in the Belgian Federal Parliament to put those left-wing extremists on a terror list, because they are very dangerous.
Any police officer, whether it be in the United Kingdom, the United States, or here in the EU, will confirm that the far left are far more violent than the far right. It's something that we all know, those of us who follow politics, involved in politics. We've seen this so much. We've seen this. I don't know where this hatred comes from, but we see it all the time, all the time. Why won't the media report on this?
I think because the media are also sharing those left-wing views, and the media can't stand the right-wing views, and the media are using the same tactics as they do. They are not being violent, but you're always attacking us for saying the truth. We have a lot of, unfortunately, experience with it, and I think it's because they share the left-wing views. They cannot stand our views, and they also, I think, they're seeing us not as human beings, but just as what I said, as some object, and that's very concerning.
There's a lot of talk about radicalization at the moment. This is in the kind of Islamic context, Islamization within not just the Muslim countries where they're becoming more and more militant, but also in Europe in schools. We're not really hearing so much about that in the mainstream mess, but we're hearing about radicalization from the far right. I worked in education. I never heard right-wing views being espoused in primary schools, but I heard Marxist views being on an almost daily basis, Marxist interpretations of history, for example. How is it that the far left have been able to infiltrate even the education system to such a degree, almost globally as far as I can see?
Well, I think it's because of the baby boom generation of May 68, who all were teachers, and who became a lot of them became teachers, and I think their views are still the same, and they are teaching those views to the children, and then the children become are going to university, and I think in university you also have those very narrow views. Only the left-wing views are supported, so you can not give your free expression or your free views. You have to tell what the professors are telling, and I think it's by generation to generation to generation that it has been taught, and I think schools and universities are specialized in doing this. And in giving this from generation to generation.
Your political group in the European Parliament, the Patriots of Europe, is often described as being far right. I've not seen anything from that group that would cause me concern. I could look, however, at GUI, the far left group in the European Parliament, and having followed for 20 years, I could give you names of people who have been involved in the provisional IRA and the terrorist campaigns in Britain who are working in the GUI now. Where's the outburst? Where's the outcry? Where's the condemnation? There's none.
Yeah, we even have some members of parliament of the left, the political group the left, who have been involved in so-called Hammer gang in Hungary, who used violence against protesters. So it's really concerning that those people are in parliament, because you should feel safe as a member of parliament in the parliament. But when those extremists are in the parliament, you don't feel safe anymore. And even with people who work there, and as you said, we are a member of violent organizations. Yeah, it's very concerning that this is happening. And as you said, our views are mainstream views from the Patriots of Europe. I don't think we are telling very extremist views that you're pointing out extremist point of view. No, we are just telling what the majority of the people is thinking. But you have those views from sort of dogmatic views of the left wing, who cannot stand this, and who are always saying, this is radical, this is extremist. But they don't know. I think they don't know what's happening in the cities, in the streets. They are not going outside, or maybe they just go outside in the pretty neighborhoods where they live, because most of them live in pretty neighborhoods. But they don't go in neighborhoods where people are confronted every day with extremism, with radicalization, where they see the consequences of mass immigration. They don't go there. They live in their European bubble, and I think this is the issue.
Exactly. Barbara, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for joining us here in Geneva.
You're welcome.